Hello and welcome to the Icarus Nightcap, a less than 10-minute mini-cast about industrial design. Today, we're talking about the COVID-19 virus. If you're anything like me right now, then your new office feels a bit like home. And that's because it is. On the 11th of March 2020, the World Health Organization officially announced that COVID-19 was a pandemic, which characterizes itself as a worldwide spread of a new disease. Most people infected with the COVID-19 virus will experience mild to moderate respiratory illness and recover without requiring special treatment. Older people and those with underlying medical problems like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, and cancer are most likely to develop serious illness. The best way to prevent and slow down the transmission is to be well informed about the COVID-19 virus, the disease it causes, and how it spreads. Protect yourself and others from infection by washing your hands or using an alcohol-based rub frequently and not touching your face. The COVID-19 virus spreads primarily through droplets of saliva and discharge from the nose when an infected person coughs or sneezes. So it's important that you also practice respiratory etiquette, for example, by coughing into a flexed elbow. At this time, there are no specific vaccines or treatments for COVID-19. However, there are many ongoing clinical trials evaluating potential treatments. The World Health Organization will continue to provide updated information as soon as clinical findings become available. Various measures have also been taken by governments the world over, which include police-mandated isolation and a plea to maintain at least 1.5 meters of distance between you and other people if you absolutely need to go out in public. So for most of us, staying home is the only option. And apart from realizing that your house could also reasonably function as your own personal gym, bar, and spa, other more world-changing innovations were quickly being implemented to protect medical staff, to inform the public, and to ultimately save lives. This leads, of course, to solving problems in pretty creative ways. As the popular YouTube personality Kurzgesagt said, we have to socially engineer people's behavior to act like a social vaccine. This means that if you don't get infected, then you can't infect anyone else. This may sound simple, but engineering behavior can be really difficult. However, some designers have found a way to encourage people to change their behavior by giving them a new handle on the virus. Quite literally. Door handles are among the most germ-infected objects in houses, hospitals, factories, and elderly homes. Materialize is an additive manufacturing company sharing an idea for a new type of door handle which encourages people to use their forearms to open doors. This door handle can be downloaded for free and 3D printed everywhere in the world. This isn't the only 3D printed idea out there, though. Manufacturers of hospital equipment may not be able to produce and send enough replacement parts, so various additive manufacturing companies have come together and offered their 3D printing knowledge and technology to help hospitals reproduce broken components used in respiratory machines. The Reinier de Graaf Hospital in Delft, in collaboration with the TU Delft, has also come up with an idea of making face masks, since there was a shortage of masks in the hospitals to protect medical staff. They tested all the materials available, and yes, even our precious coffee filters were not spared from these trials. They did this in order to find the best material that was able to filter the virus effectively. They plan to produce 2,000 masks a day with the help of their volunteers. Speaking of face masks, Decathlon, a French sporting goods retailer here in Europe, is supplying certain hospitals with deep diving masks to stop the spread of the virus. Since these masks allow you to breathe normally without fogging up and cover the entirety of someone's face, they work surprisingly well as microbe managers for healthcare workers. One of the most streamed sporting events on Britain's Sky Sports network, the F1 races, also took a huge hit, having to cancel multiple Grand Prix in response to the virus. However, on the 22nd of March, the FIA, in collaboration with the Formula One broadcasters, hosted and streamed the first ever official virtual Grand Prix. This kept the drivers and the fans busy, of course, but what about the teams themselves? Well, it turns out they were hard at work doing something different. Something called Project Pitlane. The core skills of the F1 industry are rapid design, prototype manufacturing, testing, and skilled assembly. F1's unique ability to rapidly respond to engineering and technological challenges allows the group to add value to the wider engineering industry's response to the virus. So, what better way to use their expertise than to orchestrate a UK industry-wide effort to manufacture and deliver respiratory devices and redesigning intakes for respiratory machines to support the national need? Even graphic designers are offering their knowledge and their ideas. They're creating more awareness through the use of cartoons, letters, and forms for the elderly to fill in. These forms are, of course, for groceries. The impact may seem small, but it can mean a world of difference for people who are feeling alone. The thought that someone cares enough to help you have a smaller chance of getting infected means a whole lot when you're isolated. Of course, these were just some ways that people are getting creative to solve problems during this pandemic. Remember, the world is more connected than ever. If you have any ideas, share them. Whether it's a new way to connect the elderly with their grandchildren, or a new way to prevent the spread of the virus, or even a new opportunity to gain more awareness, it's always a good plan to see who's out there to help you realize these ideas. Don't hesitate to share it with the rest of the world. Oh, and remember, wash your hands. If you happen to be listening to this podcast in the Netherlands, there's a site called www.coronahelpers.nl where members of your community can sign up as either someone who needs help or as someone who's willing to help, and then you get matched up with other members in your community who are willing to help people walk dogs, pick up prescriptions, do grocery shopping, etc. It's an excellent way to lend a hand where you can and do your part for the community. And that's www.coronahelpers.nl.